All right, folks, it's time to check out some guns from overseas. Our next guest is Michael Sedini from Eagle Imports. I don't even know why I have to introduce this guy. I mean, he's a regular at this point, man. What's going on, man? Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me again. I'm coming to you actually from New Jersey this time. I'm doing some work for NRA.
Wow, oh man, okay. I'll let you make it on that, but I'm like, I don't know why anybody voluntarily goes to Jersey.
I saw you about it. Chris let somebody out.
What is the deal? What is the deal over there, man? Like it's like there's this contest between Jersey and California to be the biggest. Man, I wish I could say what I really want to say, but you get my point. What is the deal?
Well, I can't. I mean, I've lived in both states. California's done a good job of just getting it so you can't get the guns, right? With the list. Jersey just wants to throw you in prison.
Like you get to be a felon. You get to be a felon. You get to be a felon. You get to be. Everybody gets to be a felon. And it's like, come on, man. Like this is getting ridiculous. But
it is, and I was reading the article about that guy, and it's a shame because here you are, have somebody who's like serving your country and obviously is responsible.
Like, probably one of the people like you absolutely want to have a gun. I mean, I think everybody should have guns. I mean, everybody who's responsible and legally can own them, because I know somebody's going to take that, flip that, and turn it into a meme or something, and then all of a sudden I'm going to get a knock on my door from the ATF. But anyway,
my world. Because I get it like 6 times a year. So
yeah. Okay, so I gotta ask. With that being said, there's this kind of dual perception about the ATF, right? There's my side of the Iowa. I don't really have to deal with them above and beyond what I see with respect to certain laws and things of that nature. I'm not an FFL, not an SOT, though I plan to get those things at some point. You being on the other side, what has been your experience like with the ATF? And I know it's going to be incredibly limited because it's only from your perspective. But I mean, is it really muhahaha? You know, secret society? We ask us trust, take over the world type stuff, make everybody's lives miserable, or are we talking about a system where there are good people in it, but there's certain kind of bureaucratic aspects to it that kind of cause them to pretty much have to end up being the bad guy in some respect?
I think it's like that. I think it's like anything, like the IRS guy that shows up at your door, right?
Yeah.
Like they have to do their job, and they got to make sure you're in compliance, right?
Yeah.
So us up here, like we freak out. We are compliant because I think I got a couple things going against me in the court of public opinion, especially in liberal states, right? They hear last name, they say, "Oh, he's Italian," right? Jersey, and he's an arms dealer. He's a gun runner. So they automatically think it's got to be illegal. If I had $1 for every time someone I told I was in the gun industry, they go legally. I'm like, no, man. I'm like a really trustworthy person. I'm going to tell you about my whole operation. No, so
that's like me telling somebody I'm in pharmaceuticals.
But it's funny because they come here and all they need to do is go through the records, and it's getting easier. Like technology is making it easier for them to check on things. Just make sure you're in compliance. There's no guns laying around where they shouldn't be. They're all locked.
Okay, I got to call bull on that. Have you tried to fill out electronic form 1 recently?
Oh, yeah, okay. I understand about that. I'm talking about like the traces that.
Gotcha.
They have to do.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, it's hell, and I think it was designed by somebody who's still stuck in 1992.
Yeah, and it's crazy is if you go past a certain date, then everything's all was filed by paper. You know, so you had copies. So, you know, when I was young and I was working in this office, when I was working in this office, like helping out my family, when the ATF called, my first job was to stop whatever I'm doing and just help them. Help them find whatever they need, whatever. And I swear, they would wait for me on a Friday night, like right at the end of closing, to send me like 15 tracers or stuff by, and I'd have to help them. And I'm like, man, I'm just a kid. I want to go out. But no, I mean, generally they're in here good guys. They intimidate you, though. They don't say much, and they're kind of like, oh. But when you're compliant, and you know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I find it hard to believe that people in the gun industry that have, legitimate businesses would do anything to risk it. So
Gotcha. Yeah.
you let them do your thing, you let them look, and when you're not lying, you're not scared. But it is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I think they come after. Like I said, I'm not sure, but I've talked to some other people in the industry, and I think I get visited a little bit more. But that's fine. Go ahead, come. You know what I mean? My compliance is perfect. So
I don't know, man, because I mean, I just emptied my bank account to the IRS yesterday, and I still don't want to get audited.
Hey, listen, I tell you what, I think I'm the only person in the world that pays a massive amount of taxes. So I'm glad you said that, because I pay taxes.
Oh man, I don't want to talk about it, man. My mood's just gonna go.
Yeah, I feel like I paid, so now they know they have a guy who pays. So they're like, hey, no, there's some more that you owe. So I don't know. It's never a win for me. By the way, I think I got an idea for a show for you. I was going through your Twitter, because and I think you should have a show where you or a section of your show where you go after people on Twitter who say dumb stuff. That would be a perfect segment,
dude. I try. I really try, right? And it's kind of unfair sometimes, because I get so many great comments, right? I get so much support. And at the same time, the ones that stick out like a sore thumb are they're imbeciles. And it's like, why are you doing this? Why be this way? Like, don't do that. Don't be like that. And then, you have to kind of smack people around on social media. And then it's like one or two things will happen, right? They'll dig in, and then they'll go back and forth, embarrassing themselves further as the conversation goes on, because then now everybody's watching this conversation take place. And then usually 15 minutes later, I'll realize all of the tweets are deleted.
Right, I saw that the other day.
Like,
right?
I'm like, come on, really? You know who does this a lot? What's Shannon Watson, whatever her name is, right? She's blocked literally like 80% of my followers. So nobody can follow our interactions going back and forth. No one. People literally think I'm talking to myself. And so, and I didn't realize this till later on. So I started getting messages like, hey, bro, like, can you screenshot this conversation? Because we can't see them because she's blocked us.
Right.
And I think in my entire time online, honestly, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I'm not fabricating this at all. I think I've blocked 2 people. 2. And that's across all media platforms. I blocked 2 people, and that was on Instagram. And that was basically because they were becoming such a distraction with their trolling. It was just kind of like, all right, now you're just trying to hijack my platform.
How many people How many people you think know you're a lawyer? Like, you have that law background?
I don't know, but they keep trying me. Like, they think I'm stupid. Like literally, like somebody comes here and says, Here, Colin Noir, we created you in this lab. Here, say this.
Right, exactly.
I'm like,
but think about what a nightmare to get into a kind of like a verbal sparring with a lawyer.
It's dumb.
It's like language.
My own friends don't like talking to me because of it. Like, it's like, I don't understand. Like, why do you voluntarily do this? They do it because they have to. Those are my friends, right? But honestly, I think a lot of times they get a kick out of those rare moments, right? Humble brag. Those rare moments where they catch me on something and I slip up. And then they just sit on that and they live on that for like ages. And then it's like, Mr. Fancy Lawyer, look at you. You're like, no, okay, all right. What's the overall score? You want a battle? I've been dropping atomic bombs on this war on you for decades now. But anyway.
Well, if you ever need a segment like that, man, I think you go with it. It's fantastic. I love when you call people out. It is absolutely fantastic.
And the thing also what's weird about it too is every time it happens, about 70-80% of the time, I know I just said every time, but 70% of the time, I happen to be drinking.
Right.
This is not like, I think it's a conspiracy. I think there's like some tactical Illuminati somewhere, or like gun rights Illuminati organization that is purposely doing this. So it's like immediately I have to sober up and engage with this person because I mean there's no such thing as tweet and delete anymore, because the moment you tweet something, somebody screenshot it just in case, right? Yep. So whatever I say, I'm stuck. But yeah, like I remember I had the little spat with Russell Simmons. I literally was inebriated. Literally. at a club. I'm literally inebriated, and I get this text. I see this tweet come through, and I'm like, oh, great. Now I have to go back and forth with Russell Simmons.
It's Russell, too, and you're like, it's a hip-hop legend.
Like, I used to wear Fat Farm. And I'm like, now I got to slap around Russell Simmons on Twitter. and I'm like, I used to listen to music as the companies used to produce. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. And this was at the beginning. So for me, it was kind of like, oh, man, this is the bet I made. But, I mean, he had to get it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's just funny. I look at people like Russell Simmons or whether it be Rick Rubin or anybody in their mansions or whatever, like their secluded life, like, you know, from the outside real world. Or it's like, did you forget where you came from?
But you know what was a little disheartening? Like, I literally grew up, you know, because like you said, Russell Simmons was a hip hop legend, right? And I'm just using him as an example for other people too. When you realize, like, when I got the tweet initially, I sat up at attention. I'm like, all right, I got to be on my A game. And I'm like, wow, on this issue, you are legitimately a moron. Like, it's like you may know that business side of the hip-hop world, but when it comes to this issue, you know nothing. And I'm like, this is kind of unfair right now. Like I'm a bit of a bully at this point because you don't have the information. And then on top of that, the information squashes emotion all the time, or at least in my world. And so from that perspective, once he lost that ability, I mean, he had nothing. Literally had nothing. Literally had people who follow him and was like, look, Russell, I mess with you and all, but he's actually kind of making a lot of sense here. And
when you're at the club though, how do you want to like look at somebody like, hey, look, it's Russell.
I'm not gonna lie. In the moment, I was angry and feeling myself at the same time. It's the weirdest type of emotion to have because it's like, man, I just got called out by Russell. That's kind of, what did he say? And so it was like, I'm like, man, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy.
The internet in general is just forums, everything like that. Sometimes it's stuff like I found myself when I first started like a Bursa forum where Bursa owners could go and talk to each other. And I would go on there and I was like, oh, they're going to love me. And I was like, I have this thing where I was like, oh, I'm here, guys. Like, let's talk about anything. And then like somebody would be an idiot and just say something that was completely false or negative. And then I found myself doing the same thing with you. I'm like, oh, you can get it now. I'm like, oh my God, I'm insulting probably somebody who's bought one of my guns. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I can't go on there anymore. I would just say, let's just go on there.
Don't do it, man. Like, I literally have a rule now. When I'm drinking, I don't go on social media. I'm dead serious, man, because and I haven't even done anything crazy. I'm not somebody who flies off the handle when I'm drinking or anything like that. But it's just, you know, at that point, my responses are probably going to be a little more emotional than they are logical. You know, and I think one of the biggest issues that we have is sometimes understanding our weaknesses, and then addressing them and dealing with them accordingly. With that being said, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're actually gonna talk about guns. Cause I know people are like, are they gonna talk about guns? Like who does that? but no, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back.